All right, we are recording. That's Chris Marie. I'm Cayden McFarland, and we are fired up for the NFL season. It's going to start right here tonight on Channel 2. Chiefs and the Texans. Chris, I said it in one of our sportscasts this week. This just feels like the longest spring and summer of most all of our lives. I mean, to have football finally back, the great quarterback matchup, the defending Super Bowl champions right up the road in Kansas City. Man, how excited are you tonight?
I've been saying all summer, this summer has been the longest year of my life. Like, this is just having football back is just having everything, all of this, everything this year has been just finally releasing. It's like, hey, we can sit down, we can enjoy something for a few minutes, and much less enjoy two of the best offenses in the NFL going at each other. Definitely two of the best quarterbacks. I think Lamar Jackson now is a case. But you have two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL going at each other. I don't care if the Texans don't have Hopkins. I still think it's two of the best offenses in the league. And I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think Kansas City has the edge, but I think it's going to be a great game.
Well, between them, it's $660 million in contract, right? Mahomes and Watson, both young, both with great arms and great mobility as well. So about 17,000, I believe, is what capacity is going to be for Chiefs Nation up at Arrowhead. It'll be interesting to see. You know, most NFL teams won't have any fans, is my understanding. The Chiefs are one of the few that will. And so we'll see. You know, in a really full stadium, only 17,000, how much sound will they be able to generate? Obviously the NFL is going to pipe in sound. So I think for those of us at home on TV, it's not going to be that weird. It hasn't been that weird with the NBA or NHL. But it will be interesting to see, you know, with the NFL and the huge stadiums, what it's like. So we're ready for that. 7:20 is kickoff tonight.
It's going to be interesting too, because Arrowhead is one of the stadiums that reverberates sound most. Arrowhead and Seattle as well.
That's right.
They hold sound in the stadium.
Yeah. As good a home field advantage as anybody.
Oh, yeah. 17,000 might still sound extremely loud. Who knows? I mean, you got a lot of guys on the Texans who have played here before, so they know what it's like. It's going to be weird, I think, for both teams.
Yep. All right. Little mini preview is what we're going to do. We'll go through each division, give a division winner, and then give our Super Bowl champ at the end. And I'll just weave in some of the local guys that are playing for some of these teams. So who do you have winning? We'll start with the Chiefs. Who do you have winning the AFC West? That's probably the easiest to pick.
Chiefs. I think Chiefs go 12-4 this year. You have just such a prolific offense, such a fantastic offense. You have, three receivers who I think can all contend to be 1,000-yard receivers. I'm going to put McCole Hardman as a guy who can probably catch 1,000 yards for this season. Clyde Edwards-Helaire joining that backfield. Just signed Travis Kelce to 4 more years. I mean, that offense is too good to not at least go 12-4.
Yeah, if Mahomes is healthy, you know, they're winning 12. And I'm not even sure they'll be that inspired or fired up to go put up a record like 14-2 or 15-1, which they're capable of. But, you know, come playoff time, if they're healthy, they're the team absolutely nobody wants to see. The Chargers in Vegas are picked to finish second in the AFC West. Just want to remind people, Chris Harris Jr., now in his 10th season in the NFL, kid from Bixby, undrafted out of Kansas, was an all-decade team player for the Broncos. Finally leaves Denver, and he's starting in Los Angeles, where they have a great secondary. It'll be interesting to see, you know, there's a little bit of a load taken off his shoulders because there are so many great players in that secondary. I think he's going to fit in great. He covers the slot as well as anybody in the NFL. Still, we look forward to seeing big things out of Chris Harris Jr. in his 10th season. And the Las Vegas Raiders, who are right there with Denver, you know, 3rd or 4th in this division. Josh Jacobs out of McLean. What a story. Nobody's got a story like this. Even TU wasn't on this kid recruiting-wise. He ends up going to Alabama at the last minute, and now as an NFL rookie, I thought he should have won Rookie of the Year over Kyler Murray. More than 1,100 yards rushing. The focus this year for him is catching the ball out of the backfield. We really look forward to seeing what Josh Jacobs may be able to do in his sophomore season.
Gruden has been talking about him a lot, getting him involved in the pass game too. I think the Chargers and the Raiders, we have 7 playoff teams this year. One, if not both of them, could contend for that wild card slot. I have the Chargers in my wild card slot this year. I think the Chargers can get it done. Tyrod Taylor, I think he's been working. He's been showing up at practice, I'm hearing, at like 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m. every day.
He's a vet.
He wants to be good this year. I think Cam Akers is going to be fantastic in that backfield. I think the Chargers have a good shot at making the playoffs this year. It should be interesting.
All right, 7 divisions to go and not much time. We got a show about to start. The AFC North, who do you have winning that? By the way, the team that's the heavy favorite, Baltimore, has a whole bunch of local flavor. Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, both, you know, Pro Bowl type guys, Orlando Brown, And then, Justice Hill from right here in Tulsa, where does he fit in? Maybe the third back, had about 300 total yards last year in his rookie season, but then they go and draft J.K. Dobbins, so don't know how many carries he may see. But Lamar Jackson, obviously the returning MVP, and the Ravens, the heavy favorite in the North.
I think the Ravens win 10 to 12 games. I think Mark Ingram is out after this year. I think J.K. Dobbins takes the starting job by midseason. I think it's Dobbins and Justice Hill going into next year. Ravens 10 to 12 games. That look strong this year.
So many local guys in this division. Mason Rudolph, James Washington battling for playing time in Pittsburgh. Baker Mayfield, of course. What will he do in season 3 with Cleveland after a dip in his sophomore season? Joe Mixon just signed the big deal for Cincinnati, and Samaje Perine, his old backfield mate from OU, back with him in Cincinnati. AFC East, this is Buffalo, New England. You see people picking different ways. Who do you have?
Buffalo. Absolutely Buffalo. Strong offense this year, obviously incredibly probably top 2 defense, very strong defense. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss in the backfield, as well as Josh Allen, 3 guys who can definitely run the ball. Buffalo's they're going to be tough this year. I think they win the AFC East this year.
Hope you're right, because Allen is my auto draft fantasy quarterback as of last night. But I'm not picking against Belichick. I think New England, with that defense, finds a way to win this division. We'll see, though, what it looks like with Cam Newton. AFC South, this is interesting, right? I think Indianapolis, a slight favorite in Vegas, now with Phillip Rivers as the quarterback. I love Quentin Nelson, guard up front. Tennessee, made a run in the playoffs last year. Houston's got talent. How do you see the AFC South shaking out?
Houston with the only winning record in the AFC South this season.
Okay.
That is my bold prediction. 9-7 for Houston. They move on to the playoffs. They take the AFC South.
All right. You're moving along quickly. I like this, Chris. NFC East, this is the big one for both you and me. The Dallas Cowboys, probably, I'd say a slight favorite over your Philadelphia Eagles. People don't know you're from New Jersey, the part of New Jersey that's close to Philly, so you're that guy. Look, monster offense for the Cowboys last year, and now you add a coach in Mike McCarthy who knows what to do with big weapons, and you add CeeDee Lamb. We saw him here for the Sooners, and people have said he looks like the best receiver in camp, which is unbelievable in Dallas. This offense, I know you're a Philly fan, but you got to be scared of these Cowboys, right?
If the Eagles stay healthy, I think they're going to be fantastic. But
okay.
You have in Dallas, you have 3 guys who can be 1,000-yard receivers. You have one of the best, probably top, 4 running backs in the league, and Zeke in the backfield. If Dak can get it done, if Dak can take care of his accuracy issues, this Dallas team can easily win 12 games. That being said, if the Eagles stay healthy, I think the Eagles have just a slight advantage on them. And I pick the Eagles 11-5, Dallas 10-6. Both teams make the playoffs this year.
Not a homer at all. 2 former Sooners, Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson, on that Philadelphia team. Sterling Shepard still in New York with the Giants. And Washington's got a whole bunch. Aaron Colvin and Jordan Brailford. Aaron Colvin from Owasso, Brailford, Booker T. Washington, both on the practice squad. And Tress Way, who went to Union, a Pro Bowl punter as of last year in his 8th NFL season. Tress Way is a great guy. NFC North, who do you see winning that division, Chris?
I got the Vikings. I just love their offense too much. I think that they have a good thing going right now. I think Kirk Cousins continues to slightly improve this year. Vikings at 10-6. I like the Pack this year, but I think they only go 9-5 this season.
Okay. Trevis Gibson out of TU has made the roster for the Chicago Bears. He's wearing big number 99. That just looks good in that Chicago Bears uniform. We wish him the best of luck. And Adrian Peterson says he's going to get playing time, or at least the opportunity for it, in Detroit. 898 yards rushing last year at the age of 34. He's now 35. 14,216 career rushing yards for Adrian Peterson, the former Sooner. He needs about 1,000 to catch Barry Sanders for 4th all-time. We'll see if he gets enough carries. But, I mean, you're talking about one of the great backs of all time. So who in the world is going to count out AD? NFC South, who do you see? New Orleans, Tampa Bay. I mean, this is an interesting division for me. Who do you see winning?
Tampa Bay. I mean, you can't not love their offense this year. A huge step up with Tom Brady. I mean, Mike Evans, he has a hamstring issue today. Who knows what could happen with that? You have Godwin on that offense as well. I think the Buccaneers and the Saints both go 11-5 this year, but I think the Buccaneers beat the Saints and they get the tiebreaker to win the division.
That would be awesome. Tampa Bay. I'm right there with you. The NFC West is stacked. San Francisco, who's again loaded, made the Super Bowl last year. Seattle, with our guy Tyler Lockett, Booker T. Washington grad, who's now playing at a Pro Bowl level at receiver. The LA Rams were in the Super Bowl just a couple years ago, and Arizona's really dangerous offensively, of course, with Kyler Murray, Rookie of the Year, former Sooner. Who's going to win the West?
This is the toughest division in my opinion. But we have to remember last year, San Francisco, we think, oh, they ran away with it. But remember, Seattle was hot on their heels. They were only one game
Could have won
back.
it at the very end, yeah.
They could have won it at the very end. I think they take care of business this year. Seattle 12-4, and they're actually my pick to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC.
Very nice. All right, DeAndre Hopkins now for Kyler Murray to throw to in Arizona. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Chris?
I cannot pick against the Chiefs in the AFC. They're just too good. And I just said the Seahawks are my pick for the NFC, but I just don't think in the big game Seattle can keep up with that Chiefs offense this year. I got the Chiefs repeating.
NFL has not had a repeat champion since New England back in 03-04. So I want to pick against the Chiefs, but I just can't pick against the Chiefs. It's certainly possible. Injury at the wrong time. You would throw all of these picks out the window, but Kansas City, as long as Pat Mahomes is healthy, I think they win the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be something if we had Chiefs-Cowboys for the folks around here?
A lot of people are picking that Super Bowl.
Yep.
I could see it. You could definitely see it happening. If Dak gets it going, that defense is stacked this year. I think the Cowboys have a serious shot at it. As much as I hate to say it, I think they got a real shot at the Super Bowl this year.
All right, everybody. We did our level best. Chris DeMaria, Cayden McFarland with your NFL preview. Enjoy the games tonight, everybody. Thanks, Chris.